There's no service interval to change the gearbox oil on these models unless you have a taxi or an emergency vehicle. But I can say from experience that it's well worth doing, because our old V70 has soon over 750,000 kilometers on the clock and is still going strong with the original gearbox. And that's probably because it's an old taxi, so it's been changed every 60,000 kilometers, and that's something we've still been doing when we've owned it. And I'm gonna show you how to do it, and it's not that hard to do. And of course, you can buy the parts at Vparts.se.
We can start by opening the bonnet and then remove the air filter box. Disconnect the airflow meter. The cable is attached here with a clip. Just pull the box straight up. And this is where you'll need to fill the oil later, so remove this screw. It's a Torx 55. With the car up in the air, we can remove the engine cover by removing a load of Torx 30 screws. And also this clip in the middle. For the next part, you'll need a bucket. This one has lines on the inside so we can measure how much oil comes out. It's a good idea to do this as it will give us a rough idea how much oil to add later. We'll be doing this process 3 times, emptying and refilling, emptying and refilling. On the final time we'll check and adjust the level, since up here there's both a level plug and a drain plug. So start by removing the middle plug with a Torx 40, and on the inside you'll need a 17mm hex key, which you can buy in the link below. But the Torx sockets are something most people probably have lying around at home. Keep in mind that the oil can be very hot, so be careful. In my case, the oil is hot, so I'm going to stay back to avoid getting burned. Otherwise it's fine even to do with a cold engine. You can see here that this oil isn't actually that bad, even though it's done about 120,000 kilometers. This first small screw is just a level plug. Now we'll loosen the level pipe inside. It's a pipe that sticks into the gearbox to keep the correct oil level. We'll loosen that as well and let the oil drain. We got out about half a litre by removing the drain plug. This is the level plug that was in the gearbox. When you remove the small drain plug, oil will drain until it's level with the top of this pipe. When refilling the oil at this stage, it's not super important to get the exact amount, as on the final flush we'll set the level. Now it's only dripping a bit, so we can put everything back, including this smaller plug. The O-rings will be replaced on the final refill. We've done the first oil drain, so now let's get it filled with fresh oil. About 2.5 litres will go in, but these gearboxes hold a lot more. That means there's more oil in other parts, like the oil cooler, that doesn't drain out during this process. Here we have a funnel with a long pipe which is perfect for this job. So we'll refill the oil now and start the car and go through the gears so the oil circulates in the gearbox, and then we'll drain it again and refill to flush out more of the old oil. Reinsert the plug and screw it down. Put back the air filter box and don't forget the connector for the airflow meter so we can start the car. And then we'll go through all the gears for about 1 second per gear to let the oil circulate and flush out more of the old oil. And then we'll repeat this process 2 more times. You can already see the oil is lighter than the first time. Once the oil has stopped flowing, put the plug back in and repeat the process once more. Before the final filling, we'll change out the O-ring as well. The kit also includes a new drain plug, the little one, so we'll throw away the old one and install the new one with a new O-ring. Now we'll tighten this up again under the car. It needs to be tightened to 35 Newton meters. And this smaller one just 8 Newton meters. I don't have a tool that measures that low. So now finally we're ready to fill it one last time. After that the plug goes back in, torqued to 35 Newton meters. We put the air filter box back in place. Here you can see how the oil looked after each time it was drained. You can clearly see it was very brown at first, and then it gets more red and clean after each time it's flushed. We even did a fourth drain, and after that became very red. You could also fill 4 litres each time and repeat this process 3 times, as I mentioned earlier. We did 3 litres per refill and drain, and felt like there was enough oil left to do a 4th one. You basically want to ensure you've replaced as much of the old oil as possible. Now we're going to warm up the car to get the oil to the correct level using the diagnostics tool. Go into diagnostics, Volvo version, TMC or transmission, read live data, and we'll scroll down to temperature. So currently it's sitting at around 36 degrees. There up the top you can see max and min. Now we'll start the car and wait for it to reach 50 degrees. There, it's at 50 degrees now, maybe even 52. Now we'll lift the car and open the level plug for the final drain with the engine running. We'll wait for it to finish draining completely and then put the plug back.
So there you go, now we changed the oil in the gearbox on this V90 and hopefully made it live a lot longer. A set with all the oil and the tools you can find at Vparts.se. If you want to watch more Volvo content, click up here and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thanks for watching, have a nice day.